A
It's kind of about want to kind of play around a little bit.
hey, welcome to Thing. This is Atlanta. We here. I'm Chris. That's Paris. Not that rapping, I got no flow. But hey, we're here, we're recording for today.
I gotta cut that up.
Of course, man. Hey, man, practice makes perfection. That's what Rihanna told me in an episode called Guava Island. Practice is perfection.
Practice make good repetition. Repetition is
Hey, look, I'm not saying Rihanna's a bad actor or actress. She's good.
Oh, I'm not saying nothing about her.
No, I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying.
That was one of her key lines in that episode.
All right, so back again once more. Atlanta. We in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
What's going on this week in Atlanta, man?
What we're going to do today in Atlanta is talking about fate. Obviously, if you think you got one shot, to quote, Eminem from, 8 Mile and all that other good stuff, do you think you're going to take it? Do you think, life's all about fate? Or do you think it's all about networking? Well, in this episode, we learned that Paperboy made one of those lovely Jimmy Neutron Crank That little dance music videos. And then this guy that was hinted way back in, season 1 in the pool episode actually is true. Guy got some faux hawk hair, drives some 1970s Mustang, and he's just a killer.
Yeah.
He's just a killer. And poor Paperboy here having one of those introspective episodes right now. It's like, do I have a safe house? Do I feel safe? Man almost died in this episode.
Yeah.
It was wild. And how do you feel this? Paperboy's our guy. Paperboy, for me, I always feel like he's the one that, from a facial perspective, if Darius is the guide for the viewer to watch the episodes, are we safe, are we not, and that type of stuff, and then we got, Paperboy just trying to be the come up story, I guess, of trying to make it. He's made it now, but now he's worried about himself.
Yeah, man.
First, we're worried about him being old, being forgotten, because not everyone, there's only so much touring you can do before people get bored of you, and now we got this guy here,
Nah, man, that's just the reality of hip hop, man. Unfortunately, that's what it is now. I mean, it started as a voice for the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
Give you an introspective, a little close up, put a good lens on, hey, in this inner city neighborhoods and impoverished areas, this is what we deal with, this is what we go through.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't understand hip hop in general.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's about talking about and doing. A lot of times, rappers are the guys who are exploring, telling the story of others.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be of themselves, it could be of their best friends.
They're storytellers.
They're storytellers. So the whole point of it is, hey, a lot of things have been going on with us. You guys don't know. This is not what you see on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an insight of what really goes on here. Now, that's how hip hop started. That was what it was about. It's about how creative can you be at storytelling your story or the story of others in your neighborhood. The things that go on, what happens, the day-to-day struggle people go through. It's not all bad. There's a lot of good artists that give you a good introspective of, hey, this is what people go through on a daily basis. Young girl trying to make it, finding it hard to date somebody good. Is there a lot of different artists for different things. Most people only pinpoint when they think hip hop, they think, oh, rapper shoot them up, bang bang. It's not about that. That's not just what it's about. There are certain artists for certain things. Yeah, it's just like when you listen to reggae, you listen to rock, you listen to certain artists for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, the streets always had an influence on hip hop because that's what it's from. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is now there's more street in hip hop than hip hop. So the thing is, individuals are taking their real street beef, stuff that people didn't want, people didn't know.
Another airing it out.
You're airing it out. And the problem is a lot of.
But what happened to that code of honor then? That we used to have back in the day?
It's a different set of people, man. You gotta understand. Back then, people usually who talk about street stuff either did it, was in the vicinity, or just relaying the information of, hey, this is what goes on in our neighborhood. Now, everyone has Google.
Yeah.
Everyone has the internet. So now it's easy for you to just go and look up a hood or look up what goes on and rap about stuff that you have no clue about.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a record label. You don't need a cosign from, hey, Jizza said I'm good, so I can get on this track.
Yeah.
Method Man rates me, so yeah, I can rap on this. No. You and I could literally just Google any random hood in America or
Mhm.
Canada or wherever and see something that went on there and rap about it like we're from there when we're not. Or we can just completely make up stuff because everything is so much out there now. So there's a lot of suburban guys who are making music from their living room. Probably never even left the house. But they're telling you everything that's going on in the street. That's the problem.
That's true.
And
A lot
then
of
you
people
got-
feel like they understand the world through this lovely device here.
And then there's also a lot of folks who've done certain things and going, man, these rappers are always lying on here. They never did that. They never did that. You know what? I should rap.
Listen to my new track where I tell you the truth.
Exactly.
Dropping in November 4th.
Stop talking about these guys, man. They're not even good. They're not even living that real life. Let me tell you how it is. This is what I did last week.
Okay.
That's how Rico comes in.
Okay, all right. So I'll ask you this then. We got introduced to 2 rappers
Yes.
in this lovely episode, and then obviously we'll get into the B plot, which was Ern and Darius trying to get some shoes, the miracle shoes.
Okay.
But before we get into that, the 2 rappers, you were explaining obviously how the culture's changed. We had Doug, the Latino, or no, Doug was actually the guy that was like dressed like he was from like the 70s or the 80s in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he's just like he had the network. He's just all about making it happen.
Yes.
And then we had the store worker here. I'm just trying to pull it up on my notes here. Obviously, I need to get some new pair of glasses to go find. Well, where the heck did he go, man? But there was like the store owner kid that was just like, yo, I can make it, man. He gave the whole speech.
Yeah.
And I was invested actually in him when I was watching the episode the first time. I was like, man, this guy, Paperboy's gonna take this guy. He's gonna be like, yo, you got a future, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else. And I don't know what else to say, but it was Roberto. That was his name.
Mm-hmm.
He was the store worker. He had the kid in the background. His wife drops him off to work. He's doing his best. Just trying to, here's your free sample food. I'm going to make it. Like, the cliche stuff that we always see at the cashiers and everything else. Where is Roberto? Do you think more Robertos made it as, like, hip-hop artists? Or do you think it was more Doug's? Like, networking people didn't have any talent at all for the music, but they made it happen still.
Again, it's a bit of both, man. And that's what now is, right? You don't need to network anymore. You can get your own SoundCloud, you can get Pro Tools, you can get anything, man. You can upload a trash beat. No, really.
No, I agree.
Like, I'm not a producer. I made some beats.
Yeah, better beats than I.
There you go. I could just write some stuff, rap over it, and upload it. And apparently I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
So really networking is great, but these days you kind of almost don't even need a cosign anymore. You don't need a network anymore.
So there's no more gatekeepers. It's just like someone broke down the gate and it's just a floodgate now.
There's gatekeepers there's gatekeepers for levels.
Yeah.
But you can make it now. Before, if people didn't like certain artists, like I heard people talk this about DJ Funk Flex or K-Slick.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say Funk Flex wouldn't play your song if he just wasn't feeling it. It's not even something personal.
Yeah.
If he really liked you as a person and your song, like he would play it.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing. So some people may say, oh, Flex he's hating. No, he's not hating. He's allowed to not like some stuff.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered before, like it must be boring working at a radio station. Sounds like a cool job. But when you're playing the same songs every hour, I think it probably is annoying for you.
Oh, yeah.
When you keep repeating the same things all the time, and you're there for like 6 hours, it's probably not the most fun.
And we back from Fame. I hope you enjoyed that nice track called Fame by Paris. We got Chris online too. Check it. Like 1, 2. Like, yeah, I see what you're saying. That must get boring.
It's gotta be. Because I don't really listen to radio, but sometimes you're in this place where they have radio on or something.
And you just hear the same guy, like, and it's 24 and it's going to be cloudy. And you know what? I hope that you have a great Sunday.
Yeah, once again, it's Justin Bieber. What's the song you did? Peaches. For instance, good example.
Yeah.
Good song, but it's just like, you hear it 2-3 times an hour. At some point, you must get annoyed and just keep repeating it. But the thing is, back then, you had to, one of the greatest and best way for you to get known was to be on the radio. Like,
well, that's how Paperboy started, remember? If we go back to the massive callback, Ern, talked to the janitor to slide in the music to put in there so we could get to the DJ, because the DJ back then in the first episode was the gatekeeper, aka the Big Bang. This whole series basically started in Paperboy's journey. And, as we were witnessing, obviously, in this episode with Paperboy being all stingy, he dressed like Chris Evans in this episode with the hat and the cap and just trying to look like, all superheroes undercover. I'm like, yo, Paperboy, we know it's you there, man.
Yeah, that was terrible disguise. He should have got a teddy mask or something.
He probably should have. He should have.
It's, unfortunately, that's just what it is now. A few artists actually say now, being a hip-hop artist is being a rap is the most dangerous job.
Really?
It's not.
Okay.
It's one of.
That's right.
It's definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may not look at it that way, but then again, when you think about it, you make it into a field or an area or whatever where you could make so much money. Like, the potential is there.
Yeah.
It's almost limitless.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you do it independent or with a big label. Right?
Yeah.
Now, everybody from your neighborhood want to come with you.
Yo, Paris, bring me.
All your family want to be there.
Yo, Paris, bring me.
Let me tell everyone my government name. So it's like you're gonna bring everyone, but you can't. Your homeboy, he was good at math, so he's now your accountant.
Okay, John.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
You sometimes you have to understand and separate certain things. Some people want to work, some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people a lot of times are a liability, and it's just like, how do you? You're a good friend, but they're a liability. Something happens, they're the first person to fight somebody. Or,
a couple years ago, I worked with a couple people like that.
And it's just like, no, that's bad for business. Now, do you tell them that? Now, they all of a sudden they're saying, oh, you think you're better than somebody, now you reach somewhere. Type of. So it's a very difficult thing. So now, guess what happens? You become a problem. Now, if they need to eat and they see you're a way to eat, now you're food. Industry is out to get your money. Anyways.
Look, that's being a content creator, man. I can vouch for that because like I'm a content creator consumer. Like, I just consume the content all the time because I want to learn. I gotta get this information. And if certain content creators don't drop their videos on certain days, I get upset.
Really?
I get cranky. I get angry because I'm so accustomed. Like, it's like comfort food almost. And that's the thing. That's why you need to train and be able to do breaks and that type of stuff when it comes to that things, or you're stuck in the cycle. That's why like I can relate because I can imagine it's similar with people that like always have to listen to music. If you don't have the ability, for instance, like it happened to me a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I went to work. I didn't have my headphones. I had to listen to click, 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 click in the office. It was boring, bro. Yeah, but then again, when we didn't have these, guess what you did when you're in the car ride? You looked outside. I hate to be stealing one of the comedians I saw recently, but he got a point.
we were.
I was more present back then than I was now.
Yeah. Now you get in the car, unless you're not driving. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, we're here. All right, you have no clue what happened. You don't know if you passed a fire.
I'll be honest. Whenever I go downtown, I'm always lost. Like, say I'm out of a vehicle or I'm not traveling anywhere, I have no idea which way's up or down.
Because we don't pay attention anymore, right?
Well, yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah, but so distracted, it's just like when you have no clue what's going on. It's like sometimes when you're walking in public, and you're like, okay, this person's gonna walk into me. You're like 50 feet up, but they literally walk like this, and it's just like, man, there are other people here, right? And a lot of times you bump into people, and then they
like that.
And sometimes it's not even like they even like bother them.
It's
just like you bump into you. Oh, sorry. Or sometimes they don't even say anything. Just continue walking. It's just like people are zombies now when it comes to this phone. It's just
we are automatic NPCs.
Yeah, it's just like sucking all the newer everything. It's just like your brain is just being.
I went to a show recently, a few weeks ago, and it was the same thing. Like, I sat down in my seat and I'm just chilling, and like you're just taking in the atmosphere and everything else.
Yeah.
And like before like the show started with like the wrestling and stuff, there's people like this. Double tap leg, double tap leg, double tap leg. And like you're seated beside me, but like, the person that they came with or the group that they came with, they're not even interacting, they're just like double tap leg. And then like when the lights dim and everything, it's like sometimes I question people like, okay, you spend $200, $300 to get like front row seats for this thing, and the first thing you're doing is like click, 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 click. I gotta show where I was on Instagram, TikTok. So
how many times do you see people in like, especially like NHL, like they're at hockey games or something? There's expensive teams.
Oh yeah, no.
But I guess sometimes they don't pay for them. Sometimes they get them as a gift or through work or something. But you get an experience like that. It's like Dave Chappelle saying, put this away, man. Live in the moment. Now I like to capture a lot of stuff because sometimes you can't explain certain things, or it depends on if you're trying to.
You need a reference point.
Yeah, you need something. But there's times where sometimes I might be recording something, but I'm actually looking, like I'm taking it in.
See, I think that's the next step evolution, and I'm glad you actually put that into words.
Most people are just like
they're looking through the camera versus you were like you're recording it, but you're still experiencing it. So you're doing like both things at the same time.
Yeah, and it's just like you notice it. Well, I don't go to clubs anymore. When I used to, it's been going on for a long. No, I'm good. It's been going on for a long time, man. It's like you go there and it's just like people just there taking pictures. It's like you're in the club and it's just flashes. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Well, actually,
no one's dancing.
I can tell you that.
Everybody's just taking pictures, and then some people you might go to your Instagram and see 20 pictures from the night before. Great. they're not present at all. It's just almost like some people get dressed up to go out to show their outfit off.
Yeah, so that's actually what I was going to say to close, I guess, on this lovely club story, because I know you're not a clubber, and I myself am trying to fade away from that too. But new clubs, or like the latest new clubs, are built for that, where they're rows of booths. I'm not sure if this sounds like Wall-E or iRobot stuff, but like there's rows, like how my phones are, like row, and like in this booth you got your seats, whatever, and then like music will be bumping, but it's like a lounge, and people just take Instagram photos. So everyone gets the booth experience now. Imagine like a warehouse size.
Cool.
That ain't cool. But people are doing exactly what you said. They dress up, they just sit there, basically do the same thing. Yo, did the bottle service come? Yeah? No? Okay, alright. Oh, yo. John got this bottle service, yo. Yo, get ready. Yo, pose up, man. Yo, pose. Yo, why aren't you posing, man? We're supposed to post this for Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. See, that'd be a good screen cap right there, bro. See that post up?
Yeah, it's weird, man.
It's weird.
People don't dance anymore. You know, they always got the guys in the corner like holding the wall up just in case it falls down. It's like,
hey,
it's okay to get off the wall.
Hey, don't tell them that wall turns around like that one episode.
Get off the wall. It's okay. I'm pretty sure the building is structurally sound. You don't have to hold it up.
Yeah, but we got close up against something.
Yeah, go speak to a young lady. You know, go have some fun. Go dance, man. And everybody think you're too tough to dance.
Nah, man. I'm scared of rejection. Like that one episode we just did.
You know what? Hey, you get rejected, cool. That should give you more energy, more fuel to be like, all right, then. You rejected me, that's cool. Maybe I didn't approach this one this week good enough last time or whatever, so all right, see somebody else I'm interested in or I just want to dance with or just have a conversation with. Let me go try. Hey, the more you try, the better you get at it.
So are you saying maybe next time like I approach her, I should talk about her heels or her shoes and say like they're flat? Like the way how Darius and Aaron were trying to get those flat shoes from that one guy? The van guy?
There's a lot of ways you can do a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, like for instance, me, because I'm into fashion and stuff like that, like sometimes I look at a female and say, oh, that's a nice shirt, or that's a nice outfit, or whatever. Sometimes I don't even know what they look like. Or body shape. Yeah, because sometimes certain things that catches your eye.
Yeah, like the color combination. Like
color combination, you know, just the outfit.
Your outfit, texture, like texture in the shirt.
Certain things. And then there's times where you just see someone and their beauty might just catch your eye. It's just like, oh, that's a nice looking guy. That's a good looking guy. Nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Some people find a way, oh, you can't say that. Why not?
Yo, if people dress well, they dress well.
The first thing you see when you see someone, or you think, is what? The first thing you see is what they face.
Yeah.
Like, it's a human thing. It's not a, you know, you're trying to do something, or you think of them that way, or you're trying to holler at them. It's not, some people just really put too much emphasis on the stupid little things.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even about that. You can see someone is a good looking person at me. So what am I supposed to do? Oh no, she's ugly. No, she's not. So why do you want me to say? Is that what you want me to say?
Maybe.
It's just like, it's just stupid. Like it's good to compliment people. Like it doesn't take anything away from me to tell somebody, hey, I like that outfit. Hey, nice shoes. Like people do that to me all the time. Now I'm not the biggest person for like liking compliments. I rather give them. Yeah. But
receiving them, you're learning to say just thank you to it.
Thanks, man. It's just like there's nothing wrong with that.
And that was harmless.
It's harmless, but most people are such haters. It takes away from them, or it
takes away from the moment.
It's bothersome for them to let somebody know that they like something they're doing, see, have, or just appreciate it in general. It's like some people would like something, but they won't support it just because it's you, type of thing. You know? It's like, I have to be, you know, that plantation mentality. Yeah. I have to be the only one doing this. I have to be the only one wearing red in the room. I should be the only one shining. I should have the best outfit. It's like you see it a lot with females too. Like they would walk by each other and just stare each other up, head to toe type of thing. Like this look of disgust, and it's just like, you don't need to hate. She has a nice outfit on, or she looks good, or whatever, or because everyone else is checking her out, like all of a sudden she's ugly. No,
that's gonna hate though.
Yeah, it's too much people, and that's the problem with because there's so much of that. You know, everything is filmed, everything is who should look like this or whatever. It just creates more haters, I think. Yeah. Because now it's just like, oh, she thinks she looks good because she have on a Fashion Over outfit. Well, if she looks good, she look good. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. That's cool. But you don't need to hate them. Like, why is everything a competition? Like, why do we always be competing? I don't get it. Everyone have their own thing that they like. Some people are interested. Some people are not. Everyone's not good looking to everyone. Let's just be honest.
It's true.
Some people might say, I don't know, Brad Pitt's like the greatest looking guy ever, and then some people will be like, no, I think he's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But some people will just tell you, oh no, something's wrong with you because you don't think that. So, I don't know, it's kind of difficult, but in this type of era where, you know, everything's just about Instagram, there's got to be a better way. Everyone's living this great life. everybody kind of have this idea where they kind of have to outdo one another. You can only wear an outfit one time because everybody on Instagram want to know you wore this before.
Mm-hmm.
Only celebrities do that because they have the money. A lot of times they don't even buy the stuff they wear.
Well, that was the thing I noticed with Ern in this episode, because he was trying to figure out,
is it worth it?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
Like, okay, cool. Like, you can give me money. Doesn't matter. I want, like, a moment that, like, makes this thing worth it.
Yeah.
So, like, you had to go, like, kiss Darius or whatever, which I thought was hilarious.
Hilarious and creepy.
But, like, no, it goes back to what you were saying. At least, like, for me in that situation there, I'm like, okay, are these shoes worth it? I know most guys, first off, are going to say, no, it's not worth it. I'd rather pay for it. I'd rather go do something else but that.
Yeah.
But the reason why you start listing your reasons of, like, why you can't do this gives the other person, in my opinion, how I interpret that, more reason why they want to see you do something. They want to see you, I guess, vulnerable, or, like, it's hard to put in the words, but they want to see something that you would say is your value or your principle that you wouldn't do, or something that, like, you would have, like, a hard no on, and break your own values and principles just so that way you can go do it. I think for here, Darius said, like, look, I just want the shoes, man. And if we're going to save money, which you could probably go spend money elsewhere, and I just have to kiss you for 3 seconds, you know what? You could spend that $10,000 on Lottie or Van or on our next trip, whatever. But Ern's thinking about it from the standpoint, like, look, I just want to pay money for what's this worth because it's a limited edition shoe. And kissing you is breaking one of my values and rules of that I have ethics of being a man. Yeah. And, like, I just don't want to break that, you know? Because, like, let's say this old fart guy, like, records me and shit. Like, now everyone's going to see this stuff. Then that's going to, like, ruin my reputation. So, like, there's, like, different trickle ways of understanding this. And I found it was a fascinating thing, even though I get it, that it's one of the jokes of the episodes.
I mean,
I'll get to the other one, but
if you're not, some people compromise their integrity for things.
Yes.
And that's a lot of times is a problem. Again,
what makes it a problem, though?
What makes it a problem? Because I think you should always stand for what you truly believe and how you are. A lot of times when you do it, you don't do it for you do it for other people.
Okay.
That's when I think it becomes a problem. So, again, some people will literally only wear an outfit one time because everyone on Instagram, I already posted on Instagram, I can't post this again. You care so much about what other people think that you would just continually spend your money buying outfits. Meanwhile, you don't have any savings. You don't buy stocks, you don't buy crypto, you don't do any type of investments, you don't put money aside, maybe you have a car that has that light on for the last 4 months. You don't want to go check that out, but you gotta buy a new outfit, you know? No, you're laughing.
Oh man, no, that got me good.
This is fact. Well, this man.
No, I know it's fact. But you can see that he was materialistic. He invested so much in his physical appearance, but like when he opened his mouth, did he have anything really valuable to say?
I never really listened. Head right there.
Oh man,
he used to borrow money from people to pay his phone bill.
Bruh.
No exaggeration. But some people, that's just how their priorities are.
Fair.
Yeah. They would rather buy the new Jordans that come up to, look fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So you can roll up their pants so you can see it's a pair of Jordans, $400. But, the tuition money that, OSAT provided, you're not going to buy that book. They're going to come and borrow your book.
I'll buy a book of shoes.
Yeah, so it's just like, it just depends on the person. Some people, they value material things so much, and usually it's about what other people think about them that they would put themselves in compromising positions and make decisions that they wouldn't normally make.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times they regret it. And then, sometimes they do certain things so much, and then that's why you end up with a lot of people with so emotional issues sometimes. It's just like, now I'm stressed because I can't pay my bills, I don't have any money. Or, well, now my tire just popped.
Yeah.
Now I gotta spend another $200. I don't have extra $200.
Because you didn't put savings aside for yourself for emergency.
And now you put yourself in that. Now you're stressed about that. But hey, on Instagram, you still get that big smile. You get that new outfit type of thing. So
Instagram makes me money. I feel
like I say, don't go broke trying to look rich for people online.
Can you say that one more time for our audience?
Don't go broke trying to look rich for people online, because most people don't care. They don't know you, and it doesn't even matter. Because guess what? If you're broke and they see it, they're gonna laugh about you.
Ha! Sorry.
It's just like, again, what is the point? For me, I'm the guy who would always wear stuff with no labels. Because for me, a label doesn't make me, I don't care. A lot of times it's the color of the stuff, the material, how you wear it, or whatever. It just makes it look, whether it's good or not, or just simple. There's some people who literally don't care about fashion whatsoever.
Those people are so foreign to me, but I understand that they do exist.
Trust me, you see the different color combinations, you go, yeah, you just put some stuff on.
Hey, why are you trying to describe me when I was 11?
But that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Like, not everyone has to care about certain things,
Yeah.
right? For me, naturally, that's how I grew up. 1, 2, in the islands, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Value, brands, everything else.
yeah, or even sometimes not even about brand, it's just about being clean and being presentable.
Yeah, looking good.
Exactly. And a lot of it goes back to,
Generational trauma.
generational trauma, certain times where, you're not working, but
Trying to show your worth.
no, doing work
Doing
all
work.
week, all night, dirty, filthy, whatever. And Sunday, like in the islands, you still, you put on your Sunday best whenever you dress up, because when our ancestors were, captive, Sunday usually would be a day when they get to wash up and put on their best clothing, type of thing. So,
Okay.
so when people say, "Oh, you have your Sunday best," and everything, like back home, that's
Mhm.
that's slang I would say.
Yeah.
Like somebody look and say, "Oh, you have your Sunday best," type of thing. That's kind of like words.
That reminded me of the time when we were back in college. I know, like, for me, it was like almost like a Thursday best type of thing. Because, like, you
Yeah.
wanted to look good for whoever you were trying to impress, because Friday night was usually, like, the night, like, something was going on, or Thursday,
night or something.
or pub day, or was that. And funny enough, like, Thursdays actually kind of become that day for me, like, even, like, afterwards with work, and now it's a soccer day for me. Like, that's usually the day I'm like, hey, I gotta dress up, gotta look presentable, that type of stuff. Like, Thursday's that day. Thursday's that Sunday now for me. Or how it was back for our ancestors.
Thursday best, yeah. So that's kind of like where that came from. So it's like any any chance and opportunity you get to be fresh and type of thing, like you be presentable. You are somebody. You look like somebody type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like where it came from. And now, let's be honest. That's not where our history started. So let's make sure we go before that.
Mm-hmm.
Because before all that, before 1555 and all that stuff, people, like, if you look at the Egyptians, there's absolutely nothing that wasn't magnificent about them. They literally slept with this, I don't know what you call it. It's a contraption, something that they made where when they lay down,
Yeah.
their hair wouldn't get messed up. So it's like almost like a head brace.
Okay.
So that their hair would be done and silk and brushed and stuff, because they would do all this stuff before they go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they lay down, they would sleep a certain way where they would lay down normal, sleep, but their hair wouldn't be, high up on the side and wake up in the alley.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much they cared about their appearance. That's how much they are always wanting to be fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Africa being the richest continent ever, with the abundance of gold and all that stuff. So it was like, you look at Mansa Musa. Like, he had so much gold, he used to give away gold for other like empires and stuff like that, because that's where it was like in abundance. It's unlimited. That's why it's still to this day, the continent is still being top places for a resource. But the problem is the people there don't make the money from their resources. So that's why it's called, you looked at as so poor. It's not actually poor. It's just
it's one of the richest ones. It's just that the people aren't being given the access
they aren't
to
given
take
the access
it.
to it. Everyone else is going there and taking it and using it for their better good. Like, you'll have a kid go dig up some diamonds and give him $20, $100, whatever.
When the diamonds are the more valuable asset.
And then you go and you sell it in the store, and you put it up. You put some silver in it and tell me it's $3,000, like that type of stuff. So it's not that it's a poor place. It's just underdeveloped and being,
Taken advantage
of. But yeah, that's kind of like what the whole thing was about. So again, same thing with American culture. That's why sneakers and stuff like that is such a huge thing to black kids, because it's like you always have to try and be fresh. Like, if you think about it, we made the most out of nothing. Food, what do you call it, soul food and all that stuff that was thrown away or whatever, that's the scraps. But you took that and you made such amazing, like, food recipes and stuff like that. So it's like we've always been able to, no matter what, under any type of circumstances, not only make it, but make it out of nothing, still looking good and feeling good type of thing. So that's why shoe culture is such a huge thing that some people, unfortunately, compromise their moral for. And that's what Darius was basically, it was like, it's just this. But the was just like, yeah, it's not worth that though. Like, we passed stages where we didn't have to do certain things anymore.
Yeah. No. You definitely opened my eyes out to a different perspective on that episode.
Yeah.
To that portion there. I guess then to transition from that, and that was a really good lesson. Let that sink in for all of you, because I think it was a really good, valuable lesson on our heritage there. Well done, Paris. Gotta give you credit where credit's due there for sure.
That's what you gotta read, man.
But what about Roberto, bro? Roberto trying to shoot his shot, trying to rap, and then Paperboy's just like, get out of the way, pushes him into the glass, breaks.
Nah, he was garbage. That wasn't it. That was not it. Maybe he wasn't ready, maybe that just was not his moment, but that was not it.
Bro, man, I feel bad for Roberto, man. He went through the glass, and then, ironically, it's Doug, and I know you're making fun of me before we start recording this about how trash my rap is, but like I think Doug's worse than that, bro. With like his little like Rugrat techno beat, but because he's just there, right time, right man at the right place, he saved Paperboy from pretty much dying.
I don't know if you saved it. How you set him up? How do you know I'd be here? Right place, right time. He's like, man, I owe you one. As soon as he said that, I was like, he's gonna ask for a studio.
But and this is why I go. This is why I go back to the very start of the episode. What I said, Paperboy is one of the most relatable people because when you see his facial expression change from like, man, you my best, yo, bro, you listening? You listening? You listening?
For me, he has the best reaction in the show, completely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like when the girl took his hat, he's like, or was it Eduardo, the guy who took his money?
Yeah, Armando. Or no. Nando.
I want my money. Oh, you were asleep, huh?
Yeah.
You can't. You were asleep. You hear me now, right? And it's like, yeah, that's just what it is, man.
No, Paperboy's giving me some of my favorite moments. Like even the Woods episode, I like that episode just because of like the self-discovery that he went in himself there basically, and then basically just coming out and then like just accepting his place in fame. Like it was like a trial by fire type of thing. Like he's like, you owe me now. You see this? Give this to me. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, he's just like, you know what? Sometimes it's just easy to be like, just so you know, I'm giving you 3 perfectly good headshots in this one. But the point is, it's just like, you just do the part. Like the second Paperboy's face changed in that car when he's like, oh, you know what? If I don't do this, this is the least resistance to getting this guy out of my way. And he did.
Sometimes persistence is good, sometimes it's just annoying, man.
But which one's better? Which one do you believe more in? Do you believe in fate? Like how Roberto thought about it? Like, yo, this is fate. Like, Paperboy's here. He's going to believe in me. Everything's going to change. I'm going to quit this job, everything else. Or do you believe in the chaos and just people that are able to navigate it, even if they don't have the talent that Roberto had to rap? Even though Roberto didn't fire his best rap. He probably had his, like, 3rd best rap.
I would say it's like both. But for me...
What do you prefer to believe in? I know it's both. I get where you're coming from.
I would say fate because, like, for me, for instance, like, personally in my life, just about everything I was wanting when I was younger.
Yeah.
I kind of visualized it. I thought about it. I spoke about it. Some of it I wrote down, and I kind of just worked on it. What do I need to get? So for me, this is how I do stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's say I want to be a podcaster.
Yeah.
A big-time podcaster in the next. I was like, okay, I want to give myself 5 years to do this. What do I need to do it? What route do I need to go? Where do I need to get the information? What do I need to implement? How often do I need to do something to get to that point in 5 years? And I kind of just work towards that. I usually don't deviate from stuff. So for me, of course, some people may say, yeah, it's just luck. Maybe it is. I don't know. But for me, mostly everything I've done or I've worked on it from a thought process first. I thought about it. I wanted it. I said it out loud, and I kind of worked on it, and I manifested type of thing. So me, I'm more believing the fate kind of guy. Yes, it's possible that the way things are, I also believe, however something is supposed to turn out, that's just how it was supposed to be. There's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. Some people say they have to control their own destiny. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But for me, I think the best thing you can do is always try and have a plan and work towards something. Because then if you just kind of exist, anything can happen and you kind of just accept stuff. Mm-hmm. It kind of doesn't really put any motivation in you to work towards anything.
Yeah.
So I think if you always have something to work towards, then it could just mainly be, you know what, I have faith that I can really do this, and you believe in yourself and you can work on it and you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. But of course, a lot of times it's not the most talented person that gets the job or the opportunity.
Sometimes I think it's just creating that persistence, and I like several of the points that you mentioned. Like I can see it from both ways, and I can see why you answered the question the way that you did. Because like when I look at Doug, I see that Doug just makes it happen. He does stuff. Like, you know, one thing that I always appreciate about comedians or people that, you know, tell jokes is that like they have to say it out loud, and like you have to like, you know,
hard work outweighs talent a lot of the times. Because a lot of times when people are so talented, they don't have to work as hard because they're like, yeah, I got this type of thing, you know. Mm-hmm. It's like some females are so, you know, good looking, or guys as well. Yeah. They might be like really good looking that so much people just love them because of that they don't feel the need to work towards being like a good person.
I feel like I can definitely 100% relate to that. I thought I was like one of like, I know I wasn't that bad as a kid, but like I always felt like I was very like egotistical. growing up, like looking back in hindsight, and now like you can vouch obviously for this. Yeah, I still talk a lot, but I talk a lot in a positive manner versus like what you would probably associate maybe with an egotistical person back then. And that's just because like I care more about people. Like I tried the whole like I don't care about people thing, and then guess what funny what's so funny about it is when you try not to care about people, guess what usually ends up happening? You care more about people.
But the thing is, ego, most people look at ego like it's a bad thing. It's not all bad.
It's not bad.
You need ego to do things.
But if you had a G, then you get ego.
True. But like really and truly, if you think about it, like you need ego to do a lot of things. Like,
yeah.
You think Michael Jordan is one of the best ever because he was the most humble guy? No.
He's sacrificed.
He didn't just want to be, I want to be okay. No, he wanted to be like, listen, man, I'm playing you, and I'm going to score 50. Kobe, Shaq, like it doesn't matter who.
Thierry Henry.
It doesn't matter who. Ronaldo, Messi. No one gets to that point. You think Ali was so great because he thought, yeah, I'm okay. Or I'm just happy to be here. No. Tyson wasn't the champion he is because he just wanted to exist. I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be in the spring, and this is how I want a man in the culture. And no, he knew. Listen, I want to be champion. I want to be number one. Floyd didn't go whatever record he had, 51-0 or whatever, because he just wanted to be okay. So you need ego. The problem is when you let ego take over your whole personality, and then you just treat others like if you have to step on people to be a certain way or get to a certain place, then that's where it becomes a problem. You need ego. Everyone has to have ego. Is confidence. I don't think it's ego. It's just confidence. Most people just lack confidence.
Yeah, and
they want because you think you can do something more.
I think ego is maybe an example of a person's like base level of confidence. Like think of a thermostat, for instance. Like if everyone, let's say, is at 50, any person that like let's say you meet a person. So let's say like I'm at 50 and you're at 75. Because you're on average at 75 more, I would say that you're egotistical because you're at a higher temperature than I am.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah.
No, I just think I'm good or I have to be this way.
No, man, you're the best. You're the best.
Like,
you're the best.
You have to think you're the best.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, the stats may say otherwise, but guess how people who beat the stats...
They thought that they're the best.
They're the best. You can't just say, well, I only got 20 points and this guy got 50, so I'm okay. I'm not even going to try. No, next game you're going to try and get 50.
Yeah, you're only as good as your last game. Thierry Henry, I'll never forget that quote, man. You're only as good as your last game. So, or in this case, you're only as good as your last podcast.
Like I always say, man, people always try to demonize your confidence or how dare you think you can do this or, well, why not? If I want to be a millionaire, instead of trying to say, oh, you can't be, it's so hard. People try to just, they impose their negativity and their failure on you.
Because they're trying to lower you down. Because once again, if you're at 75 and if I can pull you down to 65 and I know I can get to 70, then I can have a better chance of winning. But if I know I can never hit 75, well, I got to come up with a different strategy to beat you. So of course I'm going to call you egotistical.
But you're never winning. You kind of just, if anything, you're probably giving me more fuel. Oh, you really think I can't? So now,
well, that's the thing. I'm seeing you at 75, but I don't know that you have potential to hit 90. That's the scary thing that some people don't realize.
But everyone has the potential.
Everyone has the potential to limit themselves.
It's like Jay-Z always say, everyone has genius level. You just have to get to that potential to unlock it.
It's true.
Everyone isn't born with the same situation. Understood. Everyone doesn't have the same opportunity. Understood. However, opportunity don't always look the same. They don't always come around the same. You just have to figure out what it is that you're really good at, what it is that you really want, and whatever you have, you make do of it, and you get to it. Like, think about the situation our ancestors were in at one point. You really think at one point they would think, yeah, one day a black guy is going to be president. Think about being in chains and having that kind of thought, or someone telling you that, yeah, someday someone's going to be that. You're going to be like, never. It's impossible. You can't even be a person. It's true. You're telling me they're going to hold the best or the top job in.
Shout out to Brock and his team.
So it's just, making do with whatever you have at that moment. Again, soul food. Most people, you can't give people no soul food as it was back then. You throw it out, man, what's wrong with you?
Like this.
But people took that and they made something of it, and it's just like, wow, we made something out of nothing.
So, and that's where the magic lies, to be honest.
Yeah, that's where magic lies. Making do. You had something that you usually say. I can't remember what it is. It's not just about surviving, or what is it?
It's about thriving.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of us day to day, we're just trying to fight to survive. But the reason why the difference between the poor and the rich is the rich know how to thrive. So they figured out that switch, as you said, the genius code in themselves to figure out how to thrive. Eventually, you have to make that shift.
Yes.
Like, eventually, you have to move from paycheck to paycheck to be able to say, like, hey, I'm creating wealth for myself.
And share the codes.
Exactly.
Most people don't share the information.
Up, down, right, left, A, B, B.
Everything is just about me. Look at me. I got a nice car. I got a nice house. I got the I got the nice whatever, everything. And it's just like, great. But you have all this information you never even shared with your friend, your brother, or whatever. Like, there's some people who are literally like that because they just want to be the only one type of thing.
I think the problem is sometimes you have to cut off those people because sometimes, let's say you do share the code with them, they will do that same thing with what we were just discussing about with the ego. They'll pull you down because now all of a sudden it's like, oh, this one thing that you were withholding from me, you've given me this value now. I don't need you anymore because I can do it myself. And then their own ego actually self-sabotages them, and then eventually also self-sabotages the other person that was just trying to be out of kindness to share. So I think sometimes I think you need to make it a step higher just for safety, but still provide obviously the code to them after once you've achieved that step, or at least you're just about to take that step.
I don't believe that though.
I know, but to each their own. Like for me, that's how I feel. It's like, okay, I have to be the person that does the experiment first. Yeah. Make sure that it's good. And then, okay, I'll pass on the information. Like, okay, like I played around with fashion with these color combinations, found the right brands, everything else before I recommend it. Yes. Not like, hey, I read this on this one website. You should probably go do it too. But then you'll ask me like, hey, did you try it yourself? Guess what I'm going to say?
But that's not sharing information though.
I know.
The thing is, it could hurt you, yes.
Yes.
But I think it could only hurt you if you either don't know what you're doing, you really aren't confident in what you were before, or you were using that person to get where you are, or were going. Because if I know the code to make some $500 a week from your phone, doing nothing much, I should be happy I know something like that. See, hey man, check this out. This is what I do, whatever. And now, then it goes to where everybody can't go. That's where that comes in.
Yes.
If you are interested, and I tell you about it, you show interest, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
But if you show that you don't really want it, you just want the money, you're not really interested, or you just not really don't care too much, and it's just like, okay, cool. I tried, and I leave you where it is, and that's it. Because everything isn't for everybody. That's one of the things sometimes we don't quite understand. Like if I keep telling you, hey man, buy this Ethereum. Yeah, the blockchain's good, buy this Ethereum. You're not interested.
I'm not interested.
You're not interested. Now, maybe the Ethereum was $100. Next month it goes $600. Then you go, oh, I probably should have listened to him. He said buy it, and I didn't. Now you just missed out. Now I know if I'm gonna buy something else, I might let you know, but I'm just letting you know just out of respect. Yeah. I probably don't expect you to really go into it. So now it's like I try to bring you along. If you don't want to come along, then that's what it is. I just have to do it with somebody else who's really interested. So a lot of times that's what people kind of just don't really want to share, because it's just like they just want to feel. It's like rich people would never allow you to be everyone to be rich, because then what would be the point? The whole point is being rich and famous or whatever. Is that you get so much different preferential, like different privileges and treatment.
Yeah. Why would I want everyone?
Why would I want everyone to have that? There's nothing special about that. I don't have to. When I wake up, I don't have to worry about money because I'm so rich. If everybody else isn't buying, I'm not selling. If everybody's selling, then my money's gonna go down, type of thing. So it's just like it's kind of like that with us in our community. But I find it's mainly like that with us because culturally, if you look around, everybody else works together. Everybody else support one another. Everybody else buy with one another. Like a lot of times, we'll go and buy the brand that has absolutely nothing, no relation to us whatsoever. No one there speaks our language. They don't speak to us. They speak of us, and they capitalize off of that. Meanwhile, when they spend their money, it's within their community, their ecosystem.
It goes back to that episode in last season with Paperboy doing his
brand commercial.
Yeah,
represent your hood.
Represent your hood.
That's a good example of exactly what it is. A lot of times, these brands don't really care about you, but they like our influence. So they'll use your influence to sell their stuff, and they'll only make money with themselves. You'll never get that back. And they'll never give you the opportunity to go out and empower yourself or spread your positive message to help one another come up. Again, one of the biggest fights Kanye West had in fashion forever. You can't deny he's one of the most fashionable people in history, like period. Go to school or not. Eventually did go to school, so it's not like you can use that excuse. Sold out here at Nike, whatever. Think they would give him an opportunity to be on the board, have some say? No. Went to Adidas. Great. Now he owns his stuff. Now they know the power of what he can do. Now it's just like, okay, well, he owns his stuff. We can't buy it off him, even though some people try to buy it. You can't buy it off him. You definitely when he believes in ownership. You're not letting go or whatever. So what they do, try to do, knock off the stuff. So it's just like we have to just stop doing stuff like that and really understand and support one another, because that's the only way we'll be able to. Look at Black Wall Street. And there was a couple hundred like black communities that were really striving, not striving, like really thriving.
Thriving.
Like 100% black owned. School, hospitals, airports, everything, all 100% black owned, black ran. And they were doing absolutely well. Now, if you look at stuff like that, and people were doing that stuff just about, well, not too much years after remove from slavery. Like, think about in a time where so much people have access, opportunity, money, connections. Think about what we can do if we really work together. Not
We'd have Wakanda actually be real.
it'd be a real thing. I mean, they say Atlanta is that, but it could be Atlanta everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'd rather go buy a Nike outfit for $120 than buy a shirt from you for $20, for $60.
It's all about that brand loyalty for whatever it is.
Labels drive a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people do compromise their morale for a lot of things.
Well said. That's a good way to end the episode, honestly. So, you want to plug anything for your lovely viewers as they
like, subscribe, please. Subscribe, comment, collaborate, whatever it is, man. Support. You can go to the store, shop, buy whatever. I'm not wearing anything right now, but need to start doing that more.
Always got to wear the bracelet, man. This guy gave it to me. He told me to promote it. I'm promoting it wherever I go. I'm coming back actually for more, to be honest. I'll be honest. Yeah. For me, mind the question, you know the deal. Haven't released any new episodes. This man's upset about it. I'm getting on it. We're getting closer to it. Thank you for supporting it. I'm trying my best to get some new episodes out there and some of the content and just being consistent like this gentleman here. He's having me consistently on here for Atlanta, and it's demonstrating to me the power of being consistent when it requires you to do something. Be like Doug, make it happen, network, do your thing, and then fate will do the rest, So that's all we can really do. Shout out to Roberto, you were a good father, though. Keep working at the mall. And I hope one day that you'll learn to listen to your wife and that maybe not being a rapper is the way forward for you, good sir. And if there was something that we missed in today's episode, post it also in the comment. There's so many great moments, subtle details in these Atlanta episodes. There are case studies that for people that will probably be studying for years to come, decades to come. Yeah. Of just black art, or just not even black art, just art. You don't need to put black before it. Art that is black, I think, is almost how we should say it. Put the art first before black. Not dispowering it, but it's just saying this is art. And it came from black. Yes. It's the same thing with women's art. You don't need to say that women's art. It was art that came from a woman. So the art's the most important thing, and that's something that I've definitely enjoyed about this. And your work right here. This is art made by you. It's your government name.
Thank you. Yeah, man. It's just sometimes it's just stuff that I do. I've always been into. Again, like I said, I've always been into fashion and jewelry, stuff like that. It's just something I do for fun, craft, just being creative. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people are into this stuff.
Why not?
Why not just do it?
Yeah, make it happen. Be like Doug.
It's like the clothing and stuff that I sell. Art. It's just stuff that I do play around with straw. Mm-hmm. Like Kita, same thing. That's hers. She drew that. This
Magic.
Is the sun. This is me. So it's just stuff that I do for fun, that I do for a little mental escape. Just something I like to do. Sit by myself and just be creative. Just be able to just think and just do something. Mm-hmm. And just I do all this stuff for free. And I heard Dame Dash say, the key is to be able to monetize something that you would do for free. I was like, that's it. Something I would do for free that I do for fun that happens to be good or decent to some people. If some people are willing to support or like it or whatever, sure. That's what you're supposed to do. You should be able to do something that makes you happy. If it makes you happy, it doesn't even become a job. I don't want to work anymore. I'll be honest with you.
No one does.
That's the whole point. No, I really don't want to work.
No, I
want to do something that I really like that I can monetize. And it's not a job anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole point. Leading towards entrepreneurship, becoming a landlord, stuff like that. So that's where my goal is. That's what I'm trying to work towards, and that's what I'm working towards.
Well, I'm glad to be part of the journey, man.
Man, don't be part of the journey. Be of the journey.
Good guy.
That's the thing. That's what you got to do. Everyone got to do it. We can't do it.
We can't do it alone.
Yeah. It can't just be, oh man, look at him go. No, you should be looking and trying to, do your own.
All right, I will.
That's how it is.
Maybe I'll do my own fashion line soon. We'll talk about it. But first, I got to do the podcast, one thing at a time.
Yeah. About that.
Let's save that for another episode. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Love, peace, everything else.
All
right.
Love and light.